What exactly has this man achieved, and how has he done it?
Well, Dan Ivascyn has now, the fund he runs, Pimco Income, is larger than Pimco Total Return Fund, which was once the biggest mutual fund in the world. It's lost a lot of money since Bill Gross left. But Ivascyn last year, his fund attracted more net inflows than any other actively managed fund. And basically what he does is he goes for, as the name implies, income, which means he invests in debt that provides income. He protects against the downside. You know, he's avoided losses, for example, last year, going short on duration as interest rates rose.
Okay, so he's got a strategy that's worked out, but how does his style, how does his approach differ from Bill Gross, who, I mean, even though he left Pimco years ago, we still always refer to him as kind of dominating the style, the perspective of Pimco?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of ways that he differs. One is in personal style, and one is in the investments that he focuses on in his fund. The investments that he focuses on, he doesn't have a benchmark. He's basically go anywhere on this fund. He can go long duration or short duration. He can buy foreign currencies, credits. He can buy derivatives. He can short stuff. So he's got a wide range with this fund. Basically, though, he says, I won't lose your money and I'll beat a basic benchmark. He's not tethered to any one group of funds, though. As far as his style, he's like out of the spotlight. He's a guy who likes to bury his nose in prospectuses, in like mortgage pooling and servicing agreements, rather than going on TV. He's a little uncomfortable in the spotlight.
So he's a little more sort of technical minded, I guess, in some sense. John, tell us about, so just give us the clarity here. So he was already running a fund at Pimco, and then upon Gross's departure, he was basically tapped to replace him. Where's the capital coming from, and how does it compare to what Bill Gross is running at this point in Janus?
Well, right now at Janus, Bill Gross's fund is about almost 1.9 billion, which is about less than 1/1000th of what they're running at Pimco. Pimco is like, well, at its peak it was 2 trillion. Now it's down to 1.5 trillion. So big difference in the size and scope of what these two guys are overseeing. I mean, Bill Gross is running one fund now, the Janus Global Unconstrained Bond Fund. Dan Ivascyn oversees all assets under management. He's the group chief investment officer for Pimco right now. So he oversees this one fund, which gives you an idea of his style of investing. But he also, you know, tells everybody or has the final word on investments and hiring for everything from currency, emerging markets, to their private strategies like hedge funds and credit opportunities, real estate.
And one thing we should note as well, that there's no love lost here between Dan Ivascyn and Bill Gross. Bill Gross, in fact, sued Pimco for breach of contract. What's the update on that?
Well, that suit is still underway. Their first hearing is, their first actual court date is for September. Those things can always move, and there's a possibility they could always reach an out-of-court settlement. But in that suit, basically, Gross said Ivascyn led a cabal of Pimco executives who wanted to force him out because they wanted a bigger share of the bonus, and they also wanted to diversify Pimco away from bonds. He wanted the bonds and burgers strategy, he says in the lawsuit.